What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Let's dig into that sneak peek clip that MTV unleashed a couple of days ago of what we're going to see in tomorrow's episode of Teen Mom 2, particularly during Jenelle's segment. So in this scene, we see a police officer come to the door of the swamp and just knock, 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 knock. Thankfully, he didn't sink and like fall into the ground or anything like that, but he was knocking, and Jenelle was in her room. David was nowhere to be found, and he had been knocking for quite a while. And so my arch nemesis Kristen and her stupid bangs come over to tell Jenelle, like, Jenelle, someone's knocking at the door. And like above her, you see like a punch. Like the wall had been punched through. And we pointed this out, I think last season or super early this season, and it still hasn't been fixed, funny enough. So she's like at Jenelle's door, Jenelle, someone's knocking at the door. It's the police officer. What's happening? You didn't do anything, Jenelle. And so Jenelle, like for the first little while, like ignores Kristen, and then the cop is still knocking. Kristen knocks again on her door, and she finally comes out, and like she is whispering, like her voice is so low. She's like, I don't know what happened. I'm not going to answer it. I'm going to let David handle it. And so she just leans over her countertop in the kitchen with all of these pills, by the way, in the background, like in plain view. I don't know why or how like those two got their hands on so many pills, but my God, did they ever have an assortment? I don't know. Like I really wonder about like, why are they all in the kitchen counter and not properly secured, you know, with Marissa around, with Jace around. Kaiser probably is able to reach those as well. It's just really, really dangerous on their part. So anyway, she's leaning over the countertop, ruling out all the reasons why a police would come to her door. She's like, I don't know why a cop would come to my door. I haven't hit anybody. I haven't threatened anybody. I've been minding my own business, which I thought was quite funny. So David gets up, you know, shirtless and everything. Apparently he was just showering, but whatever. He answers the door and the cop's like, hey, I'm here for a wellness check. And David's like, oh, what now? Why don't you go to the daycare? Closes the door, and that's it as far as we see. Maybe we also see the cop is still standing out there, so maybe, just maybe, it does escalate a little further than that, because surely a cop can't just leave like that, you know, on the heels of a wellness check. Like, I don't know. We'll see where that goes. Just one thing that like really stuck out to me in that scene was, you know, aside from the pills and the hole in the wall as well, is the fact that the children are in daycare and these two adults don't work, you know? Why are the kids in daycare, especially Ensley, as young as she is? Like, okay, you can argue that for like someone like Kaiser's age, it makes sense for him to be socialized outside of the school year, blah, blah, blah. But Ensley is so young that like, it makes no sense to be a stay-at-home parents, both of you, and not cherish the time you have with her and like her safety. I think the average parent doesn't want to put a child who can't even speak or walk yet in daycare, like if they had the choice, you know, or any of their kids, you know, on average. So why do you have a child that young in daycare and the two of you do nothing but sit around at home all day? Anyway, after closing the door on the officer, David starts ranting and raving throughout the house, like, F that, like, go to the daycare. And then Jenelle, who was just whispering before, there's cops in the house, I don't know what to do, David. He's like, yeah, go to CPS or something. Like, oh, you finally found your little vocal cords, huh? You know, for some reason, David turns this into another opportunity to paint really graphic and violent pictures of the things he wants to do to Nathan. He's like, that's it, I'm gonna F him up, I'm gonna break his head open. And of course, deadbeat ass Jenelle has literally nothing to say about it. Like, Nathan is the father of your child. Like, if he dies, like, I just don't, like, why would you allow your husband to wish death on your own baby daddy and former fiance as well? It's just absolutely disgusting and pitiful what she puts up with. Like, this is so detrimental to Kaiser. It's not even funny. Like, it is disturbing what she allows this man to get away with and what David even thinks about, like, during the day. Like, CPS and the cops have been called to Jenelle's home since pretty much when she started on 16 and Pregnant. Like, Jenelle has been trashed from the very beginning, and a lot of hardcore, like, viewers of the show and haters of Jenelle have been calling CPS, like, for as long as, like, almost 10 years now. So this is not a Nathan thing. And, like, even if it were Nathan calling for a wellness check, that doesn't mean that you should be threatening like this sort of violence on him whatsoever. Like, it just only like helps his credibility about the fact that you, David, are mentally unstable as fuck. You should not be around children whatsoever speaking like that. And Jenelle, the fact that you allow him to speak like that shows that you two are messed up and have no business parenting any children. You guys, what did you think about this preview of what's going to be going down in tomorrow's episode of Teen Mom OG? Make sure to leave all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And as usual, we'll chat. You can also like this video, subscribe for more. Feel free to share it with your friends as well, and follow me across social media where I absolutely love chatting with you. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.